Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Flynn, and I'm here with
Scott Lang,
and we are the Band Dads. Here to bring you a podcast about something that we care very dearly about, which is music education and band.
Some of you are here because you want to learn about all things band. Some of you are here because you want to see a train wreck, and the answer is yes to both of those. We don't care why you're here. We're going to answer all the questions. We're going to say the things you're thinking. We're going to debunk all the myths.
Yep. This is the Band Dads Podcast.
The podcast by and for confused band parents.
Nice. Just like the tagline. Hey everyone, Band Dad Chris here, and welcome to the Band Dads Mailbag number 4. There's been a lot of exciting things happening here in Bandland. We've officially wrapped all of our recordings for season 1, so episodes 8 and 9 have been recorded, and they will be edited and released on their regular schedule. In the meantime, Scott and I are seeing what else we can cook up for you all, which includes maybe a live version of the Band Dads podcast. So if that's something you'd be interested in, please give us a shout and let us know. Hopefully you've heard by now that the Band Dads are officially returning for season 2. Couldn't be more excited to share that news with you all. The support has been incredible. There will be more news regarding what's coming in season 2 in the very near future, so stay tuned. While we're at it, we want to send a significant shout out and thank you to all the music and band educators out there, as well as all wonderful people who dedicate their professional life to teaching, as today is Teacher Appreciation Day. We're hoping to have our infamous band director on an episode soon, so we can appreciate him on our podcast. That said, my co-host Scott was himself a band director at one point, as you all know. So to honor him and his work, today you are hearing some music throughout the episode that Scott directed and his students were responsible for while he was in the classroom. Scott knows that I am a sucker for jazz, so he sent me some tracks from some of his groups that he's fond of, and unbeknownst to him, I thought they were so incredible, I decided to use them throughout this episode today. If you didn't recognize our intro music, for example, well, that was Scott and one of his bands performing Sonoran Sonata. Like I said, he didn't even know I was going to do this, so he is hearing it for the first time as he listens to the episode, just like all of you. So once more, thank you directors, teachers, administrators, and my co-host for all you do for helping to enrich our kids. All right, it's time to get back to our regular program. The mailbag has been gone for a minute, but we wanted to bring it back as we are overdue to air a response from one of our listeners. We got a question by way of the text fan mail function that comes into our website. Feedback received there does not allow us to respond to it either via text or email, so this is the best way for us to provide a response to that feedback. This was an excellent question and one that may be on the minds of other band parents around the country. So let me hand it off to the professional, Mr. Scott Lang, for appropriate response.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, we got another great question, and this one's representing our home state, State 48, Arizona State. Hey, Band Dads, as another Arizona band parent, I have a question. My band my son is in is a part of a band that is putting less focus on competition and is starting to put more focus on the art of marching and music. I grew up in Arizona and did marching band here as well. It's been such an interesting take on marching band, and we have seen the culture change drastically in the band and even how the school views the band. I'm curious on what your take is on different band cultures around the country and how other parts of the country are starting to mimic more of the college sequence, doing multiple shows a year. Thanks for all that you guys do. Well, again, thanks from State 48 representing Arizona. I love it. And your question is an awesome one, but I think there's more here to unpack than you might think there is. First of all, there's no right or wrong way to run a marching band. And there are a lot of factors involved in deciding what kind of program you're going to run, including school size, band size, community support and expectations, geography, weather, and wait for it, the band director preference. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit of politics. Everyone's favorite subject, right? How can this go wrong, Chris? And I expect you to feel all of the hangry emails we get from this. Now, by politics, I mean the political landscape of your community, where you are, and what the expectations are. America is a competitive place, and that's not a surprise to anyone, whether it's sports, business, and yes, even marching band. And some places are more competitive than others. In smaller, perhaps more rural communities, the band might serve as more of a communal function, parades, football games, and a source of community pride and social gatherings. Whereas in larger, more suburban districts, Parents and administrators might want something that serves to attract more kids and be a competitive advantage to that school and point of school pride. Now, let's start with looking at the school and band size. If you listen to episode 2, do you hear what I hear? Chris and I talked about the disadvantages of being a smaller school or smaller program in a competitive landscape. It's inherently more difficult to be competitively successful when you have 40 kids than you do 400 kids. And doing the wrong type of competition could damage the program and the kids, and it might actually make the group less successful because they're in an environment where they can't be competitively successful. Does that make sense? Now, I also mentioned geography and weather. Multi-show programs like you're talking about, that college model, well, frankly, they're more prevalent in the heartland. Think the Big Ten, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan. That's where you see those programs in the high schools replicated to mirror the model that they're seeing in the college environment. Where out west, most programs are in competitive and modeled after the DCI format. Now, if you're in the South, you might see a show band, which is modeled after the HBCU schools. If you're in East Texas, you might look more like a military band. Think Texas A&M, where you're doing 8 to 5 and sharp turns across the field. And well, if you're in the Northwest, well, it just rains so freaking much, they don't even do marching band. But man, the jazz bands up there are insane. And finally, we kind of hinted towards director preference. In the end, the director decides the style, the content, the competitive nature, and the type of program he or she wants to run. And whether you understand it or agree with it or not, they're doing it based on what they believe is in the best interest of their students, their school, and the school community. And as your school and school community changes, so might the format of the marching band. In the end, all that matters are kids learning, our kids growing, and our kids wanting to be a part of this activity. And if so, then whatever model you're using is successful. Make sense? Anyway, remember, there's no one way to run a program. It just depends on who you are, where you are, and what you're trying to achieve. I hope that helps. I hope you keep the questions coming and reach out to us if you have a question that you want answered as a part of the Band Dad podcast.
Excellent, Scott. Thank you. That was a lot to consider for that question, so I appreciate that you presented all those different angles in your response. Folks, keep sending in your feedback. We absolutely love to see it, and nothing is more enjoyable to us than when we get to engage with our community. Now, in addition to questions, sometimes we just get nice feedback from people. Here's a couple of nice notes that we received in our feedback inbox from listeners in different locations around the country. First one was from Mark, who sent us a note from Westfield, New Jersey. Mark said, "Hey, Band Dads, I just listened to your podcast," forwarded from their band director. So thank you, band director at Westfield High School. He listened to the episode titled Cult or Comedy. He just wanted to tell us that we were 100% spot on. Again, folks, if you haven't had a chance to listen to episode 7 yet, it's a fantastic episode. Scott will tell you it's not only his favorite, but he actually thinks it's the most important thing that we've recorded and published to date. We've received a lot of cool feedback about that episode. So certainly Mark in Westfield, New Jersey agrees. So thank you, Mark. Appreciate you sending that in. All right, now we switch coasts, and we got a very nice note from Cheryl Ann, who's the president of the Band Boosters at Mission Hills High School in San Marcos, California. Their awesome band director, Chris Coughlin, shared the podcast out with the booster organization, the booster parents there. She let us know that she just finished listening to all of the episodes available. She did want to let us know that she wasn't really a podcast person prior to this, so she was kind of leery if our podcast would even hold her interest. She did share that episode 2 specifically, which is the Why Music, Why Band episode, resonated with her. It got her emotional at the end when we discuss about our kids quitting the band. She shared that she had a similar experience with a couple of her kids, and ultimately they held on or maybe left and came back, and they're still doing well in a band and thriving today. So ultimately, it's just a very sweet note. Again, thank you, band directors. Thank you, band booster organizations, for sharing our content in our podcast. People find it relatable, which is why we've had the amazing response that we've had, and ultimately get to share our success into a season 2 with all of you. Again, very, very excited about season 2. More to come. You guys are going to love it. We're going to love it. It's going to be bigger, better. Okay, I'll stop talking about it because you'll find out about it in the very near future. I should share a couple of notes that came in from our website as well through the fan mail, through the text message feedback. A couple of really cool notes here that I don't know that we've shared live on the air. So let's go ahead and share those now. We got one from Williamsville, New York. Just listened to episode 4 and 5. Loved it. I've been involved with our high school band going on 5 years now, serving in various roles from logistics to props and currently booster president. I've been trying to find a better way to talk fees with parents. Picked up some great tips. Thanks for the podcast. Band parent resources are few and far between. From Williamsville, New York. And you are very welcome. Absolutely. And that was kind of the whole idea of where the podcast came from. Band parents need to be empowered. Episode 4 and 5 were those 2 episodes about the cost of band, the value of band, to the point where we actually break down what the cost of band and like per hour instruction is. Very enlightening. If you haven't had a chance to check those out yet, please do. We did receive a nice note also from Danbury, Connecticut, which again, I just want to give Carrie a quick shout out that we got your feedback. There is a question in there that we're going to use and respond to in a future mailbag episode as well. But Carrie, we see you and we appreciate your feedback for sure. And lastly, we got a comment from Sheboygan, Wisconsin that just says, congrats on season 2, Band Dads. Appreciate your enlightening content. You are very welcome. Ultimately, thank you. And all of you who are listening to this episode right now, season 2 would not be possible without all of you. So thank you. As we normally do following the Band Dads mailbag, we usually offer a teaser of the upcoming episode. Episode 8 is going to be a phenomenal episode, maybe a little more sentimental, a little less silly, but still plenty silly. It gives us an opportunity to reflect back. We're now at the end of the school year. We're at the end of a full year, another band cycle of marching band and concerts and all those things. So it's a chance for us to look back, reflect, maybe take in some of the lessons learned, and just, again, encapsulate another year in band. Here's a few clips from that upcoming episode.
So, Chris.
Yep. Scott.
What if I told you something? Would you be surprised if I said music is the most useless curriculum in the school system today?
It would seem to be not productive for the podcast that we're recording right now.
That's for sure.
I was trying to think of a nice way to say it.
No, go ahead and say music is without question the most useless curriculum in the school system today.
So why are we here?
That's a good question.
Why are we
Let's
here?
just end it now.
What's the point? Why?
Okay, here's my point.
Yes.
Okay. You go to a math class and you learn math, correct?
Yes.
Do you use that math after math class?
Some of it.
Okay.
That's being generous.
Well,
let's be honest.
Well, some of us use more math than
my kids
others.
are like in pre-calc, and I'm like,
no,
never going to use that.
I don't know why we needed to involve the alphabet in math. Okay, your kids go to English class, correct?
Yes.
Do they use English outside that class?
Again, seems questionable sometimes. I don't know half of what they say, but yes, I believe that's valuable to them. Yes.
Well, maybe you're just copium with that.
The copium with that. All right, you're getting there. You got to. Just like you didn't know Riz was an adverb, we'll work you into it a little bit, but good try.
Tragically outdated. Okay,
you're trying.
Your kids, did any of them take a PE class or a foreign language class?
Yes.
And did they ever use those physical sports skills or any part of that language outside of class?
Again, I don't know, 50-50? Are you trying to get me to buy into that?
But they're using it, right?
Okay.
Totally agree with you. The kids have figured it out. Now, not hearkening back to our previous episode about band parents, but think about the freshman band parent who has no reference. And they assume it's all about marching, all about winning, all about left foot, all about horns up, all about notes.
Yeah.
The sophomore band parent, their only frame of reference is last year. They've had one experience.
Right.
And I don't think until your kid hits their 3rd year that the parent, not the kids, because the director's in the classroom every day going, kids, it's about effort. It's about grit. It's about building a teamwork. But nobody's gathering the parents around going, hey, parents, it's about grit. It's about teamwork. It's about effort. It's about.
Right.
So it's not till your junior year that the parents have that aha moment of, oh, it's not about marching or band. It's about everything else.
Gotcha.
We hit the end. We talked about band camp. We talked about the fall semester. We talked about the transition to concert
season.
We talked about as we come to the end, like there, to me, the end of the year there's 2 purposes: celebrate and recuperate.
Okay.
And I think we're really good at one and really bad at the other. And so
which one are we? Which one's the winner here?
We're really good at celebrating.
Okay.
I mean, I really think the band directors, their band banquets and there's end of year awards and there's an end of year concert and there's the honoring of the seniors. And by the way, we should be good at celebrating those kids. They gave us 4 years of their life.
Oh, they should.
I mean, they're deserving. They don't get enough celebration, but we're really, really good at it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, I think is worth talking about is that, and no, to our listeners, there's an asterisk here. Chris and our kids are on year-round calendars. We get 5 weeks off.
Yeah, we are. That's a good point. We're in one of those districts that, we end kind of late May and then we're back the middle of July.
And
so there's no
regardless of-
summer.
No, and regardless, even if you're on a traditional calendar, unless you're way back east where they don't start till after Labor Day, the point is, like, it's summer chop shop and it's summer rehearsals and it's pre-band camp, which happens.
There is no break.
No,
it doesn't stop.
And I think that's the danger part of this activity is the recuperate.
That we need more of it.
Yes.
All right, folks, that's all that we have for you today. Please make sure to go follow us on all of our social media channels. Go find the Band Dads Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. YouTube is a special place where you can go to see full video episodes of all of the Band Dad Podcast episodes, which do sometimes help and have some extra little Easter eggs and fun stuff in them as well. So go check us out there. As usual, if you want to send us feedback, the description of every single episode has a link that says send us a text. If you click that link, it will open up the messaging app on your phone and you can send us feedback directly right there on your phone through text message. It will send it anonymously, so you put your name in there if you'd like us to know it. If not, you can stay anonymous. It will tag where you're from geographically, which is super cool because we love to see where everybody is coming in listening from. The other way that you can reach us, and it's also very easy for us to respond to you, is email. Send us an email to feedback@banddadspodcast.com. To stay up to date with the Band Dads Podcast, visit our website, banddadspodcast.com. Want to communicate with the Band Dads? Send an email to feedback@banddadspodcast.com. The Band Dads Podcast is a 5 Deuce Media production. For more information, visit 5deucemedia.com. That's numeral 5deucemedia.com. For more information on Scott Lang Leadership and Solutions for Music Education, visit scottlang.net.